Okay, so I should have done this sooner because now I'm transferring to make it easier for those who haven't done this yet to use Keynote. And I've explained this to a few people. Unfortunately, they stopped letting PowerPoint have all its full features on the iPad or online. So after I made the tutorial for PowerPoint, of course, that's when they did this. So anyway, so here we go. So Keynote is pretty powerful too. Just a little bit different kind of convoluted way of understanding how things work. So I had a blank slide. I started with that, but I made some of my own characters because I wanted to use the same ones I did in the PowerPoint. But I'm going to show you how to add things and animate things using Keynote. And hopefully this will be pretty quick. All right, so I've got my screen here, I've got my slide, and I've got my people in here. I'm going to make sure that I put all of my objects in from the beginning, just like we did in PowerPoint. So I'm going to add another arrow and show you how I change the arrow because the offerings are not as complete as in PowerPoint. So everything is pretty much a shape. So I'm going to take this arrow and of course it just didn't do an arrow, it did a line for me, don't know why. Okay, I'm going to take this arrow, okay, and now it's an arrow, and turn it around. This is what is really easy because you don't have to hit rotate or anything. You can just use the tool to spin it or resize it. Now it's really skinny. I want it to look sort of like this. So when I click on this, I am going to go to this paintbrush up here where it says format. And then I can actually go to this stroke line and open that up, and I can make it a line, and then I want it to go to make itself a little bit bigger. I'm going to go up and make it, let's see, I probably did like 10 points with the other one, maybe a little bit more, and we'll try 11. And then of course I can change the color to match the other color. That's not the right one, but yeah, there you go. So now I've got that line. So I'm going to do the same thing to go to this character over here. So I'm just going to go to the shape tool, take this, I'm going to turn it around that direction and move it up so that it is so easy to rotate. That's one good thing. Do that. Then I'm going to make it yellow and make it up to the 11 points that I did for the other arrow. And now I can even resize it and drag it closer to my other object. There you go, my person. So now I've got those things in there, and I'm going to next go up here to text to add the text. I want to do a title, which I hadn't done. So I'm going to, you can choose a font, you can a size, if it's bold or not, the color, whatnot. So I'm just going to try to make that the same color as that, just to make it a little bit more interesting. Drag it up here, make it a little bigger, a lot bigger, because it's my title. And then you can just edit it by clicking, double clicking or clicking, and you're going to go to, I'm going to type in my title. And even if you want it to be like one line, you can stretch it out just like you would in regular Keynote or whatever. So there you go. So I've got my title and I've got all my things going on here. So how do you animate in here? Another thing I want to tell you is I want you to go up here to the document and make sure that this link up here, and you want to make sure that it says automatically play on open and self-playing transitions. I usually do like a 0.5, but 1 second's fine, 2.0 seconds at least for the build for right now, so that you can talk. And you want it to be widescreen. So that's good. So now I'm going to start animating. So I've already have some animations on here, but I want to show you how you can arrange them. So I'm going to start with this sickle cell anemia and come up here to animate. and I want it to build in with an effect. So I'm going to go drift and scale like that. And then I can also do an action, add something in the middle. So I could do like blink, although it already pretty much did that. And then I can make it go away, but I'm not going to do that. I want it to stay on here the whole time. But I could go to build out and make it leave a certain way. Next thing, I have this. It's already animated, so I'm not going to hit change. Same with this, and I've already animated this, and I've already animated this. But if you'll look down here, a lot of people were confused because the build order, they didn't know how to put the duration or the build order or how it comes after each other. So you click down the bottom here, which is kind of weird. I don't know why they don't put it at the top. And you are going to see my order here. So I've got 2 animations for sickle cell. I'm going to just drag it up to the top and drag that one up to the in between there. So now I've got them in the right order, but I've got to make sure. So I'm going to click on that, make sure that it is now, this is going to go after transition, after the slide comes up. So that's good. I don't want to delay. But on this one, I'm going to go to the next slide. That should be after build 1. It automatically did it for me, which is cool. And I do want kind of a delay on that, like maybe 1.1 second. Then I'm going to go to my mother, which is right here, and she just is appearing. That's what I set her for. And I want to make sure that says after build 2 with a delay. So I'm putting the 0.5. You could put a second on there if you have a long thing you want to say. Then I have her title, and that's carrier. So I'm going to already have an animation put on that. So I've got, make sure that it comes after build 3. Don't do one click, because that'll screw up your whole slideshow. So now, my next one is this line. So that's next. That I'm checking. That says after build 4, and that's really great. So there you have that. So I'm just going to keep on going, and I'll show you if I go to my girl animation, or girl up here, I'm going to move this over here for now. I have nothing on her yet, so I'm going to do a build in. I'm going to add an effect, and I'm going to have her, let's see, let's do a wipe like that, and from the left. And I want it to be a little bit longer because I'm going to speak. So I'm going to say 2 seconds, and it should be number 6 if I count. Well, there's 2 of these, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That's correct. There she is down the bottom. But I want to make sure in the build order that she is after build 5. Okay. So now I've got that all covered. And let's see, let's do a delay on her. Let me give this a little 0.5 second delay. All right. So I'm going to go to preview now just to show you what I have so far. Make sure it works too. You might want to check it intermittently. Do that. Of course, my title went away and I didn't tell it to, but that's, you can go back and tweak that. So there you have it. And I'm going to continue with all the orders like that until I am done and comfortable with my animation. So when you're done, we're going to save it as a movie, just like we did when I showed you the PowerPoint tutorial. But on here, we're going to go to File, we're going to go to Export To, and we're going to go to Movie. And then it will come up like this. And again, I want to check that it's self-playing, no clicking, all the slides. 1 second, we don't have any slides, we just have one, so it's just 1 second is fine. And then go to the next build after 2 seconds, so that puts like a buffer on there. And the resolution is important, we want to make it 1080p. So then you go to next, and it will come up like this. There's my example, it names it what I had named it before, and I am going to save that to the desktop for just right now with my other one, and I'm going to hit export. And I'm just going to cancel that though because I already have my example movie. So there you go. So that's about it.